Good morning, everyone, and welcome you all to this day 4 of Certificate Program in Herbal Technology, Unit 2. Myself, Sugamari Vallinayagam. Today, I am going to take up classes about the phytochemicals because, as per the schedule, Unit 2 fully contains plant collection, processing, and cultivation, like that. Here today we are going to discuss about the phytoconstituents which present in the various medicinal plants and the use of therapeutic uses and its herbal activity for various diseases. Okay. First thing is plant having two type of metabolites. One is the primary metabolite, another is secondary metabolite. Primary metabolites contains lipids, nucleic acids, amino acids, carbohydrates, chlorophylls. These are all the primary metabolites. Secondary metabolites, these are all the very important, very unique compounds. Unique means partially unique because for indica means indica having some specific alkaloids. Allium siva having specific alkaloids, like aloe vera having some specific alkaloids, flavonoids contains. But this lipid, nucleic acid, amino acid, carbohydrates, chlorophylls are widely present, commonly present in all the plants. The secondary metabolites are unique one. They are this primary metabolite classifications we are all know about it. Okay, fatty acids, nuclear, DNA, RNA, amino acids, 20 amino acids, carbohydrates, the monosaccharides, polysaccharides, everything, chlorophylls, types. These are all common thing. These are all the primary thing. And secondary metabolites is a very important. The herbal property of the plant is decided based on their secondary metabolite. Okay. So here, this as per the title, herbal technology, we have to know about which herb having which kind of chemicals. Uh, because if you have to know about it, which phytochemical which present in this plant. Once you found this chemical constituents like information, you can easily root out the application. Okay, secondary metabolites. Here I'm listed phenolics, alkaloids, terpenoids. These are all the major metabolites, which major classifications. In the phenolic classification, we have n number of compounds. Alkaloids, terpenoids also having a n some kind of types. Okay. This why they are producing these phytochemicals. Okay, the plants are having we in like our human, like animal, that having a common primary metabolites, lipid, nucleic acids, amino acids, like that. Why they are producing the secondary metabolite? How they are producing the secondary metabolite means for the environmental condition and to defend the environmental condition, to adapt to the environmental condition, they are producing the secondary metabolite. Okay, for example, environmental conditions like biotic stress, beneficial interaction. These environmental conditions are happen under the ground level. In the root root area, that plant have a biotic stress and some microbial interactions. For that, that want to that plant want to sustain at that environment, so it produce some metabolites for the sustainability. And the responses means the defense compound means nothing but the insecticidal property. Okay, some plants are little bitter taste, and some plant, yesterday I told, one plant won't the one plant, goat are not touching on plant, Ardatoda vasica, like that compound having some chemical fight secondary metabolite which affect the goat gut. These are all the environmental adaptation. Okay, once upon a time that maybe the goats may be highly taken that particular plant, so that plant created the defense system. And insecticidal properties, many plants are affected by the insect. Some plants won't affected because that insect don't eat that particular plant. Why? Because that particular plant produced some metabolites inside that. And natural defense system, another thing, some plants are produced some phytochemicals to defend the temperature, to defend the pH of the soil, and environmental stress. Okay, everything is comes under the secondary metabolite system. And another thing about the health related compound, phenols, terpenoids, for their health maintenance. Okay, plant compound, we have to maintain the health. It should be healthy, grow, it need to be grow healthily. So they are producing some compounds, that is polyphenols and terpenes. Flavonoids, flavors is the color and the smell based one. Some flowers are having some good smell, right? That is because of the flavonoids. That smell is natural one, but they are producing based on the environment. Okay, they, if you are having some plants are producing like rosemary it having some flavonoid, it won't spread over there. The that rosemary having the image, having the phytocompounds which are present inside the leaf or the over the leaf. Once you touch the rosemary leaf, it will give some fragrance. That is the thing. uh, that that flavors are created for its nature, for its for its sustainability. Okay, for I'm telling another example, the rosemary, that plant having some smell, okay, over the leaf. But once you are pouring the water over the plant, it will, the fragrance will high. You no need to touch that particular plant, no need to go nearer to the plant. Once you are pour the water over the rosemary, it will create some fragrance. Otherwise you that otherwise it's little bit smell, it releasing that fragrance. No, not high, not highly releasing the fragrance. Okay, so these things are created for the environmental and response based one. The chemicals, phytochemicals produced for the their sustainability. Okay, next thing is the primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. The primary metabolites we no need to consider in this herbal based study. That is important, but in this herbal based study, that is not that much important. For the herbal based study, we have to focus on the secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites are nitrogen containing and nitrogen not containing. That is no nitrogen in that particular chemicals. Okay, nitrogen containing phytochemicals is the amines, glucosinolate, and in this we have four category: and non-proteinogenic amino acids and cyanogenic glycosides and alkaloids. This is the actually this alkaloids is very important thing uh, in the 5 second metabolites. Okay, these are all the nitrogen containing compounds. Okay, amines, proteinogenic amino acids, cyanogenic amino acids, sorry, glycosides, glycosin- glycosinolates and alkaloids. Alkaloids having different kind of alkaloids: free alkaloids, protoalkaloids, polyamine alkaloids, pseudo alkaloids, cyclopeptide alkaloids. Another kind of classification is the non-nitrogen. Okay, not nitrogen, not containing, not present in that. That are polyketosides and these terpenoids, phenols having two types: polyprepanoids and phenolic acid, In this classification, I'll give another PPT. It's not explained properly. Here they are having different branches in polypropanoids. Polypropanoids we are having hydrocyanoic acid, lignins, stilbins, suberins, flavonoids, coumarins, lignanes, cyanamic aldehydes. These are all the side branches. And in the flavonoids, we are having some classification: flavonols, flavones, anthocyanidin, isoflavones, flavonols, flavonones. Okay. Terpenoids, we have some classifications, that is monoterpenoid, sesquiterpenes, diterpenes, triterpenes, tetraterpenes, polyterpenes. Okay, these are all the major classification namings. It's not a phytochemicals name. These are all the classification labeling: alkaloid, flavonoids, phenols. Because why I'm stressed means in this class most of them are students. A few faculties are there, but many students are think like, okay, alkaloid, it's a phytochemical. It's like a chemical name, like that they are understanding. So I'm stressed. This is classification name. Okay. For example, if you are in a biotechnology department, means your name is like I'm Sugumari. Okay. That name, phytochemical name is Sugumari. The classification name is biotechnology, right? Likewise, the alkaloid, flavonoid, terpenoid, polypropanoid, these are all the classification name. That is a department name. In the department, we have various phytochemicals. We will discuss it in later. Okay, this is the just reminder. This is not a phytochemicals name. This is the phytochemical classification name, branches name: alkaloids, flavonoids, phenols. The major things are alkaloid, polypropanoids, phenols, terpenoids, flavonoids. These 5 categories are major phytochemicals. Okay, so only I am here mention alkaloids, phytosterols, polyphenols, terpenoids, and some organosulfur compounds. Here and the below to the circle, we are having the some phytochemicals names. The phytochemical branches name here. This is sub branches. Okay, here I mentioned, right, that is tannins, coumarins, polyphenolic acids, stilbins and flavonoids are the sub branches of phenol. Terpenoids having some sub branches. Okay, then phytochemicals. Here what are the plants having some phytochemicals? I'm here mention those things. This graphs, the one I'm repeatedly put various classification graphs because this is just for your understanding. You have to understand what are the things are the comes under the secondary metabolite system. The major thing is alkaloid, and another major thing is the polyphenols. Polyphenols, we are having 3 types: flavonoids, and another classification, 5 or 6 classification is there. And flavonoids itself, we are having 6 class. Okay. The major thing I told, the alkaloid is a major thing. So I'm here explain the alkaloid category. Okay, this alkaloid is having it's branched as 5 classification. One is free alkaloid, polyamine alkaloid, pseudoalkaloid, protoalkaloid, and cyclopeptide alkaloid. Okay. Okay, the green things are classification name. That sandal colored boxes are denoted, it's a phytochemical name, phytoconstituent name, chemical constituent name. The free alkaloid, that's atropine, nicotine, morphine, cocaine. These are all the free alkaloids, that is N heterocycles. Why I am stressed here means they in the examination point of view they are asking cocaine comes under which category of phytoconstituent. That is N heterocycles. That is N heterocycles. N heterocycles comes under the category of alkaloid. Okay, polyamine alkaloids. What are the polyamine alkaloids? That polystyrene, pyosins and verbacins. Pseudoalkaloids, aconitin, salonitin, caffeine. Cyclopeptide alkaloids, franguline and protoalkaloids, N-containing side chains, that is N heterochains, right? Free alkylamines of alkaloid means that's N heterochains. Protoalkaloid means N-containing side chain. Mescaline and ephedrine. These are the chemical structures you have. This is you have to understand the name. In the exam, they are asking with the phytochemical name. The phytochemical name, like mescaline. Mescaline means just give the match question like match the following. Okay, find out masculine is comes under the protoalkaloid. It comes under the it won't contain it having the N contains side chain. You have to understand that and then answer the question. Okay, this is some examples. I mentioned true alkaloid, nothing but free alkaloid. Alkaloids is derived from the amino acids that having the nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. This is a very important thing, that true alkaloids are derived from the amino acids that have the nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. For example, it's a trophin I mentioned. This having some clonerogenic acids, the chlorogenic effect. And protoalkaloids, they are derived from the amino acid, don't have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. This is the difference, okay? True alkaloids are with the from the amino acid which having the N nitrogen group in the heterocyclic ring, and protoalkaloids are derived from the amino acid that don't have the nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. Okay, pseudoalkaloids are not derived from the amino acid, but have the nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. They are not produced by any amino acid that are naturally produced by the plant, that like the caffeine. Okay, this is the difference thing. Okay, I'm here to give the example classification of true alkaloid. True alkaloid, we have some are pyrrole and pyrrolidine. This structure is look like here. This is a high green cocoa species is there in the cocoa species, high green, and pyridine, that piperidine. This thing structure is very important, and the examples are here: cocaine, lobeline, pyrrolizidine. It's very important. Echidamine is a very rare chemical which present in the species of Androcophyllid. Tropane and quinoline. Quinoline is very commonly present in all over many plants. Isoquinoline. These two things are 5 and 6 is mostly widely present in many species. Okay, another thing is comes to flavonoids. Okay, I mentioned alkaloids and the flavonoids are very important. Flavonoid comes under the polypropanoids. Okay, it comes under the phenolic groups. In here, why I'm given in first line means that flavonoids it's a very important thing. Based on the degree of oxidation and saturation of B ring, we can classify it into in different type. Okay, phenyl chromones. Okay, chromones comes having the 4 types: flavones, flavonoids. Here you can see the ring. Here the whole structure, we don't have OH group, so it's a flavone. It having OH group, this is called as flavanol. And flavone is a flavanone. It's a flavone, it's a flavanone. Okay, in this flavanone you can see this whole structure. In the whole structure, this flavanone 3 all, that is a OH presence, it's indicating the flavanol. Okay, next is phenyl. This is chromones, this is chromans. So it's a flavone. flavon, flavanol. The flavon 3, 4 all. Here you can see the no OH. So this is called as phenyl chromans. Okay, next classification is chalcones. This chalcones it's very useful, highly useful for antioxidant property. Many papers are in the chalcones like compounds. And benzylidin, and this is it's having example the arones is helpful for the fragrance, and the another thing is phenylbenzyl beryllium. This is another thing, the anthocyanin. This contains the anthocyanin is widely researched compound, and isoflavonoids. Okay, these are all the classification of flavonoids. And I mentioned, right, polyphenols. So polyphenols having some groups. Polyphenols having polyphenolic acid, flavonoid, solvents, lignans. Lignans having another type subgroup. Stable, it having some groups, and phenolic acid having hydroxyl benzoic acid, salicylic acid, and in between the flavonoids having a 6 branches: anthocyanin, flavanols, flavonone, and flavanones, isoflavonones. It's a little bit confusing, but it's wordings. It's based on the presence of OH group, presence of functional groups in the O group in the structure. Okay. If they are asking, camphorol comes under which flavonoid category? They are providing these options, all flavonoid options. Means you have to mention camphorol comes under the flavonols. Quercetin comes under the flavonols. Okay, the flavonols having 3 groups: the monomer, dimer, and the luteolin, epigenic. These are all present in many spices compounds. Okay, flavonoids category. I am here mention the phytochemical subclasses name with the phytochemicals name. Okay, you can see anthocyanin having a cyanidin, malvidin, delphinin, and the chalcone subclasses having the arbutin. Flavonols subclasses having the naringin is a very highly expressed anti-cancer activity. It having the herceptin is also very recommended phytochemical for anti-cancer treatments. And flavonones is subclasses as epigenin. The epigenin is highly present in many spices. Okay, like biryani. For example, I mentioned here. I wish to mention here. Many of them are like a biryani. The biryani have in the biryani we put some 14 components, right? Clove and anasi, coriander, like 14 fighter. You just refer the Google what are the spices used in biryani. A list they are the Google give a 14 list. This 14 contains more flavonoids. So only biryani gives us. Okay, so that thing is very important. That itself you can understand that have a flavonoid. That flavonoids having a anti-cancer property. It's a studied one. Some researchers are doing research with biryani because that biryani having anti-cancer property. And another thing is flavonols. That is quercetin. Quercetin is quercetin, camphorol. These both are present in mostly all the plant. And isoflavones are there. And the natural sources where it can present. Okay, that is very important. The isoflavones are present in the leguminous plant. It's not common. Isoflavones are not common. That is present in leguminous. And Flavonol, it's from the fruit, vegetables, and flavones are present in fruits. Flavones are another thing. Flavonoids are present in fruit. Everything. These things, flavonoids are mostly present in the flower and fruits itself. Okay, phenols, the another representation. Just refer this. The alternatively for refer this. How it is react, how it helps to cure the disease. So how it reach the bloodstream, how it reach the organ. First one, parental compound of phenol is there, right? That is high concentration, that is low, enter into the bloodstream, and it create the systematic effect for the proteins. And if enter into the intestinal, okay, the intestinal microbiota system, that changes in the microbiota, that creates changes. Once you are taken a biryani, you have to take some internal changes. You can feel many of them. If we are taken a biryani in after 1 month gap, 2 month gap, that will create some reaction in your stomach. Why? Because that create a change in the microbiota. And if the so for to compensate that only we are taken the, and we are taken the khichdi with curd with the curd, onion and the carrot. That khichdi we have taken body, that alteration. And this is not avoiding, this is not collapsing the biome system. It creates some changes in the microbiota. Then aromatic and phenolic are comes to bloodstream. That bloodstream through the bloodstream, the low concentration of metabolite, secondary metabolite, low concentration flavonoids only reach the organs. So the organs, so if you are take of fruits or vegetables, the metabolites are not fully going into the organ. So only the diet peoples, the medicinal peoples, the physicians are recommending take more vegetables and fruits. If you are take more vegetables and fruits, that fruits are comes that things are comes into the stomach, and after the digestion it's reach into the organs at least in a better quantity. If you are taken a low amount, it not reach the organs. So only they are recommended. We need to take more fruits, only we can get more quantity of alkaloids, flavonoids, terpenoids, everything that will helps to cure the disease. And another thing is direct injection of tissues, that is not possible. If you are taken a fragrance, that will directly enter into the thing. If the another example, the flavonoids having the fragrance, that flavones, so only they mention don't use the perfumes directly to the skin. We need to use the perfume over the dress. Not allowed to paste spray on the skin. That enter into that affect the tissue. Okay. Another phenolic acids, and here I mentioned the therapeutic applications. The therapeutic application of phenolic acids is it having the anti-apoptotic activity. It helps to inhibit. Okay, this means inhibition of Bax protein junk pathway caspase 3. This why we need to inhibit means if you are inhibiting these proteins, we can easily control the cancer growth. It can promote the cell death. Apoptotic. This promote the that cell death. Then antioxidant activity, protein, it will inhibit the protein aggregation. If you are taken a more phenolic foods, phenol containing foods, that helps to cure the heart disease, because blood aggregation is creating a heart attack, heart block. If you are taken a more phenol, that will helps to degrade the that will helps to avoid the aggregation. So there was no protein aggregation in the blood stream. So it will helps to reduce the heart attack. This is the some neuroinflammation. It's helpful for inhibit some neuro inhibitions. Okay, and the thing is here the phenols are alkaloid, flavonoid. Phenols are mostly recommended, mostly useful for the therapeutic application. Among the three, the phenol is having a more role. And this is a phenolic compounds which naturally present in a food. They here mentioned the phenolic compound is a category. Main category is a flavonoid. This in the flavonoid, okay, that we are having epicatechin. This is comes to the flavonol, all this category. The quercetin present in onion, hespertin present in orange, and diadazine it's present in the peanut, and cyanidin it's a blackberry, and epicatechin is present in the leaf, the leaves, that curry leaves. And phenolic acid is a gallic acid. We are gallic acid well known, present in the garlic. Sorry, I don't suggest for the name. Gallic acid is present more only in all the plants, all the food items, and allergic acid, and it's present in the pomegranate. Caffeine, it's present in the caffeine. The caffeine is also having a phenolic compound. Why we are mentioned here, I was to tell, this is the very practical one. Caffeine is good for health when it is not mixed with the milk. We are not using the high concentrated milk. We don't use the high concentrated milk, because even the caffeine is less quantity. We are just meant pour the little bit, 1 spoon to 2 teaspoon, right? That is one plant powder. And another thing is we are added more amount of milk, more amount of carbohydrate with that. The metabolite system is recognized the higher quantity, and they use that milk first, and then after after that process only that it take the caffeine. That caffeine is not fully reached the metabolite system. So whenever you are making a coffee, don't make that with the concentrated milk. Dilute that milk, like pour the water with that milk and make a coffee. That otherwise you just better go with the black coffee. Okay, just a water and add a coffee. The black coffee is very good for health. Okay, lignans, it's not it's a use usually present in many it's not. Lignans is a very studied in latest researchers are focusing on that. And another thing is the solvents. It's present in the blackberries. Okay, here comes to the terpenoids. Terpenoids is tomato. Tomato is lycopene, is a well-known terpenes is present in that. And lemonin, it's volatile terpenes, it's present in that lemon. Okay, next, nitrogen containing alkaloid, the caffeine, and another thing is sulforaphane is alcohol, and sulfur containing compounds is allicin, it's present the colic. Okay, this is already some list of phytochemicals which present in the plant and their activity. Just refer that this, because I don't. This is the day-to-day life we are using phytochemicals. Day-to-day life we are using phytochemicals. Day-to-day life we are using herbs. We need to take it in a proper way. That is the thing. Okay, as I mentioned, if we are taken it in a lower quantity, it will not reach the organ. It will digested in the digestion system. It will be excrete. So we need to take it in a larger quantity, and it will helpful for your health. Okay, another terpenes category. I mentioned the terpene category. Terpene is monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes and diterpene, tritetra, and poly. Okay, this normally we are it's a kind of plant, and it having the some monoterpene is having medicinal property. So they are mentioned terpenes means that is a chains like compound. Carrot beta carotene. Okay, rubber. This is very. I wish to tell this polyterpenes. Polyterpenes are highly recommended for cancer drug delivery system, cancer treatment. Why? Because this terpenes, polyterpenes, specifically mentioned polyterpenes. Polyterpenes, they are having the resistance property. Okay, so that the drug release rate is high. The target drug easily reach the target. Many of them are working on the glue. If in any researches you would like to do, means go with this is Google. And hereafter I mentioned the plant name and the phytochemical name. Okay, plant, just imagine this is the essential oils. This essential oils is very useful, and it is it's present in less quantity, but it's more useful. The cinnamon having the cinnamon aldehyde. This essential oil helpful for the weight reduction. Okay, and the thing is this cinnamon oil is helpful to reduce the blood sugar. This having cinnamon having some sweetness, cinnamon. Okay, that thing it helpful. Some people are this cinnamon powder for their sweetness of black tea. If you are making black tea, you can just add the cinnamon powder with that. It will give a little bit sweetness. And another thing is. Geraniol and the rose citronellol. The things are give essential oils is a little bit smell. It give some smell. Okay, this another kind of table. I'm included more table with the fruits and day to day life foods. And some plants are you can see in a day to day life. So I mentioned here this is the terpenoids, which list of terpenoids here. This first column is mentioned the terpenoids and their structures which present in that plant name and their medicinal application. This that I can explain many the applications because that is I'm going to reply that read the table, because that is the thing. The main thing is I'm just explain the main things alone. The piperin is a major compound, and other is alkaloid. This here is caryophyllene. This compound is a terpene which helps. It's present in the cloves, spice, woody and dry condition is the condition, and it's having antimicrobial, anti-inflammation, neuroprotective, and this is the terpenes, and it's the same compound, same plant having the piperin. Piperin is a very highly recommended anti-cancer compound, and if you are taking this piperin in some quantity, yeah, day to day life we are adding the piperin in the food. We are added in the small quantity. That smaller quantity, it's day to day we are added in our food, means it will helps to improve your health. So only herbal technology in the as per the course schedule, we are under the course of the herbal technology. It must helpful for your future. Mango is a timely thing. The timely means it's not a seasonal one. That seasonal one which having a good health improving property, because the compound present in the mango to develop the immune system in our body, and it helps to create that whenever you may thought somebody's taken a mango, it will improve your body temperature, it will cause some cold effect and some side effects. Why? Because the mango having phytochemical which stimulate our the body metabolic system, so our body heat temperature, and it will trigger some immunological response. Why? Because that it built the immune system, so it creates some the effects in the body. Okay, and then turmeric is curcumin is a well-known phytochemical. It's a alkaloid is present in the curcumin. Grapes is resveratrol, and tea it's glucinic acid, and another thing is magnolia. This conocol, cleol. These are all things are present in this phytochemical is present in the particular plants. Another examples, this tomato. This is the daily foods. Okay, these are all the daily foods. Daily foods we are using these phytochemicals. Tomatin is a compound which present in the tomato, and rice that having the momilactone, and this is the non-contained alkaloid, and green tea which having the epicalactosin gallate, that is the EGCG. Soybean having the genistein, and grape is and previously cocoa, catex, curcuma, that turmeric containing curcumin, capsaicin phytochemical, chili having the capsaicin, ginger having gingerol, green tea as mentioned EGGCG, soybean as a genistein, tomato it's lycopene, the broccoli having the sulforaphane, and cabbage having indole 3 carbinol, garlic acid having some diallyl sulfate, honey it's a caffeic acid, and caffeic acid, the honey means honey is containing, it's honey, it's producing some filament in their own body, that bone body it's mixed with the phytochemicals. Okay, cancer prevention phytochemicals. What are the cancer prevention phytochemicals? I think it's too lengthy, but I wish to tell this because you this is very important thing for your future herbal technology researchers. So only I am mentioning here. Then the cancer prevention. This cancer prevention that what are the things we are using? Piper langum. If in Tamil it's called as tipili, and this is comes under the, it's related with the piperin. The piperin is that pepper, like okay, that pepper is having some kind of medicinal property. It's this piper langum typically having more activity than the piper. Okay, another one is capsaicin. So you have to take more spices. I wish to tell here from the south districts, Madurai, Virudhunagar, and Madurai, Vidanagar, Thoothukudi, Tirunelveli. These areas, the peoples are exporting chili to the France, Europe countries. Okay, and why? Because this chili have an anti-cancer property. It helps to, and they are adding the chili in their daily food. They are not able to cultivate this capsicum, so they are taken this kind of capsicum. The here images look like this. This is only capsicum. This capsicum, the normal chili. South Indian chili only the high active capsaicin in a high quantity. So they are taking, they are wantedly asked to Indians. So Indians are exporting this chili in a feed of chili is 20 rupees in India. That chili having 200 rupees in Europe countries. Okay, so that is the thing. I'm just mentioning mentioning for the example the rate. It's a rate for the example because that rate is, I don't know the rate, but so if you don't hear that this is 20 rupees, that is 200 rupees. There my friend is exporting this chili, but he is not that they are giving the export charge. Now there he won't no need to give a export charge. He is only import that export that particular chili. They are paying for the import export charges. So they have high demand in the chili. Okay, this is I'm just example doing, just telling for this example. Okay, another medicinal nutrition fibers, fiberic compounds are there. These are on the list. And another thing is the medicine. I mentioned the medicinal topoisomerase 1 inhibition, topoisomerase 2 inhibitions are very important in the cancer treatment. As I mentioned here, just refer the plant name and phytochemical name. Okay, how we can extract, that is the thing. Okay, the based on the character of structural character, we want to select the solvent system for the extraction. Water extraction is helpful for anthocyanin, starch, tannins, sponins, terpenoids, polypeptides, lectin extraction. Ethanol to extract tannins, polyphenols, flavonoids, terpenoids, sterols, alkaloids. Methanols are helps to for extract these compounds and chloroform ether. And phenols are only able to extract by the acetone, that is mid-polar system. Mid-polar, yesterday class itself I mentioned acetone, methanol, ethanols are comes under the mid-polar. Okay, this is all about phytoconstituents. Tomorrow we will